147 matches, 268 innings, 12,578 runs, a high score of 254, an average of 51.33, and 35 test hundreds. Bearing in mind he's got 64 test 50s to go with those stats as well. Joe Root is the greatest England batsman we've ever seen. He's the greatest test batsman of this generation, and he might be the greatest batsman of all time. He is that good. I mean, I know that this is a flat track in Pakistan. I completely understand that. He finishes the day 176 not out of 277 deliveries, only 12 fours in there. Most of it was done in ones and twos. He couldn't walk for half the day. He is just an incredible player. He is the greatest that England have ever produced. I cannot say enough words about how good Joe Root is. Just every single time England are in trouble, Joe Root is usually the one to get him out. There's a lot of talk that Stokes is the most clutch player, but when it really matters, when you need runs, there is only one place you look, and that's Joe Root. Coming in at 3 today, he fielded for 150 overs. He has 8 balls sat down until Ollie Pope gets out on day 2 or whatever it was last night. And then comes in at 3, one higher than he's meant to because of Duckett's thumb, and makes 176 not out. Now, it does look like that my nan could probably score a century on this. The pitch is incredibly flat, the bowling isn't very good, and the other ideas that come with it aren't much better. I mean, Harry Brook's 141 not out. I'm a minute and a half into the video. I haven't even mentioned the other bloke that scored a century. He's 4th in Pakistan. He's 6th overall, I believe. I think that's where he is. He's had a lot of 50s. He hasn't converted as well as he probably should have. 950, 600, an average of 58.58 at the moment. 1,700 test runs almost in just 31 innings. Again, he's just as good as Joe Root. Like, he might end up better than Joe Root after all of it, because I think Harry Brook's probably going to have a longer white ball career because he's just as good at that. Zach Crawley should have made a ton as well. He was 78 off 85. Duckett should have made a ton. He was 84 off 75. I thought that England batted exactly how they needed to today, with the exception of maybe Duckett and Crawley's dismissals. I mean, Duckett's dismissal was, it is what it is. It was a good, but it kind of rushed him a little bit. Crawley's was a Crawley dismissal. I'm worried that the openers aren't converting these 70s and 80s into tons, but it's a nice problem to have from where England once was. We were at a point where Burns and Sibley were scratching around 18 off 70 and then getting out, and it was 40 for 2 anyway, and Joe Root came in, so it didn't matter. But I do think we found a really, really good pair of openers. Shaheen Shah Afridi took one. Amir Jamal, who probably looks like Pakistan's best bowler today. He looked like he was going to get something going. Pakistan did find some reverse swing early in the day. But just once Root and Brook were set, they just didn't look like taking a wicket. They didn't really try to take a wicket. I do think that now Pakistan haven't bundled England out for like 300. Their plan is defend. It's just defend. Let's not lose the game. Let's not lose 6 in a row at home. I kind of understand it, just for the simple fact of it's getting a bit embarrassing for Pakistan. But I just thought Abrar Ahmed today, 35 overs, 0 for 174. Most of the day, he spent bowling leg breaks outside leg stump to Root and Brook that were never really going to go for runs, but never really going to take wickets. There's just no real plan. I mean, if you've watched England play before, you know that all you've got to do is throw a couple of short balls down there and you'll probably get them out. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about Pakistan. They have talent. That's the thing that I think is probably annoying if you're a Pakistan fan, is that there is some talent there. I don't know how talented it necessarily is, but there's players there. Like, there's players that can bat, there's players that can bowl. I mean, Nazim Shah and Shaheen Shah Afridi should be a really, really good fast bowling pairing, but no, it just all seems a little bit toothless. I don't get it. Salman Agha, I know he scored 100 yesterday, but he was selected over Abrar Ahmed in the Bangladesh series, and he's only bowled 6 overs today. Okay, he was expensive, but why not keep him on for longer? I mean, if I'm England now, I think you push for a lead. I think you bat till tea. Try and get 250 ahead. It seems ridiculous because you'd score 750, 800, but it's on the cards. You bat till tea tomorrow, and then you've got 250 runs to play with, and you try and bowl them out. I don't know if England can win the game if they've got to chase any more than 150 with the time left in the game. I mean, even if they've got 10 overs, they're going to go for it for 150. So I think England are massively in the driving seat. If I had to pick it now, I think I said 30% Pakistan, 20% England, 50% the draw. I'd probably now go to 50% draw, 48% England, 2% Pakistan. That's where I'd go now. England are going to try and force a result. You know that is going to happen. That's exactly what they want to do. They try to do it in every game. There's only been, in 2.5 years, 1 draw under Baz and Stokes. So they're not, and that was because it rained for 2 days. Unless the rain comes down now in Pakistan, I understand. I mean, I do think that this pitch was flatter than the Rawalpindi one 2 years ago, and that was incredibly flat. There is a point where I think that because the next test is also being played in Multan, that we should just play on the same pitch. So the day 1 pitch becomes a day 6 pitch and just see what happens. I genuinely think that's probably Pakistan's best chance. England bowl 3 spinners. I don't know. that would make it slightly more interesting, because if they roll out another pitch, I mean, there's not a long turnaround in between the 2 tests. If it finishes on Friday, the next one starts on Tuesday. This is going to go to day 5 unless something ridiculous happens tomorrow, which I don't think it will. I don't think Pakistan are going to collapse for 80. I can't see that happening, but I mean, it's got to be demoralising if you're Pakistan. Just watching England score at ease. I mean, just under 5 and over, 500 runs they've scored now in, 3.5 sessions? Unbelievable batting for England. They've made it look easy, probably because it is easy out there. Joe Root, the leading England run scorer, absolutely unbelievable. I hope, do you know what? I hope he gets his high score tomorrow. He could get a triple ton tomorrow. If we decide to bat till, I don't know, tea, just before tea, around then, give ourselves 3 sessions to bowl them out. You'd imagine you might need the evening session to chase down 100. I don't know, but a triple century for Joe Root could definitely be on tomorrow. I know he was going for a lot of cramps, so hopefully a lot of electrolytes, a few baths, a couple of massages, and he'll be all right to bat tomorrow. Hopefully Harry Brook goes to his double ton as well. That would be nice to see. But England are massively in the driving seat if it's not going to be a draw. Now, India versus Bangladesh, the second T20. India could just continue their dominance. I mean, they have been so good at T20 cricket. Ever since they won the T20 World Cup, they just keep proving that they're the best team in the world. I actually think they're a better team now than what they were when they won the T20 World Cup. I think picking the players that were doing well in the IPL and getting some of the names like Jadeja and Kohli and Sharma has actually made this team better, which is mad if you think about it. It's a little bit like Australia was so much better without Warner, which again seems odd because he was one of the best T20 batsmen at the time. But he passed it. They needed to get rid of some of these older players and brought some of these new players in, and then now they look a better side. India just look incredible. I mean, it was really the finishers for India that got the job done today. Nitesh Kumar, 74 off 34, 7 sixes. Rinku Singh, 53 off 29. Hardik chipped in with a 32 off 19 as they scored 221 for 9 off their 20 overs. I mean, everyone for Bangladesh got carted, with the exception of Taskin Ahmed. He finished 2 for 16 from his 4. Rashad Hossain picked up 3 for 55. It was expensive, but picked up some wickets. And then when it came to the Bangladesh chase, they just kind of fell in a lump. Wickets were shared between all the bowlers. Pick of the bowlers, Varun Chakravarti, who took 2 for 19. I think he was the pick of the bowlers in the first one as well. A top scorer of Mohammedullah for Bangladesh, who scored basically a runnable 41, and that's not what you need when you're chasing 221. I mean, that's worse than a golden duck, 41 off 39. It didn't really matter. Bangladesh are just... I think there is a gap opening up between the teams that play a lot of IPL and the teams that don't play a lot of IPL. I think the IPL is actually the pinnacle of T20 cricket. So because all of these India players are in the IPL, I think that gap is going to grow. Like, there's a lot of England players, there's a lot of Australia players. I think the more players you have, maybe not just the IPL, some of the kind of top franchises as well. I think the more players you have playing those top franchises, especially the IPL, is the better you are going to be in international T20 cricket. And I think, especially in T20 cricket, we are just entering an era of Indian dominance at this point. Now, to the Women's World Cup, South Africa women versus Scotland women. South Africa bat first. They score 166 for 5, 240s from the openers, a 43 from Marizanne Cap off 24 deliveries. All of the Scotland bowlers were pretty expensive. I mean, 166 on these pitches at the moment is not great. I mean, 130 has been around par. And then Scotland collapse, 86 all out. Catherine Fraser, 14 off 21, high score. 3 for 12 for Non-Kaluku. I can't pronounce that name. Absolutely no chance. All of the South African bowlers bowled well today. Scotland are just a level below that top tier. I thought that they might do a little bit better. But I think that kind of, that top tier, that South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, England, and then there's probably another tier under that of kind of maybe not Bangladesh, like Sri Lanka, and maybe Bangladesh as well. And then there's another tier below that, and I think that's where Scotland are. There's always going to be a tough game for them, South Africa. South Africa get over the line. I believe they go into top of the group. They do on net run rate, but the England team have still got a game in hand. Now, India versus Sri Lanka in the Women's T20 World Cup. Again, one-sided, a very, very one-sided game. India women bat first. They score 172 for 3 from their 20 overs. Simriti Mandana with 50. Harmanpreet Kaur with 52. Shefali Verma also made 43 at a run of ball. Again, as I said, 130's been around par, 172. They're not getting anywhere near. And Sri Lanka women didn't. I mean, there were 2 20s in the middle of the order and a 19 from number 7, but they were 90 all out. You had 3 wickets from Reddy and Asha Sabana, who both took 3 for 19 from their 4. Everyone was economical. Everyone bowled well for India. That puts their net run rate, I believe, now above New Zealand. It does. So they haven't really, it's not much of a worry. New Zealand have got to play again. They've got Sri Lanka and Pakistan to play. India have still got to play Australia in their last game. You'd imagine that Australia are pretty much already through by winning 2 of their first games already. That India game's last as well. So Australia might just be able to cruise that game because they know that they're already going to be through. As I said before, Australia and England are my pick for the final. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. Please remember to comment down below that Joe Root is the GOAT, and it will be much appreciated. But I'll see you guys for tomorrow for another update.